Joining us for the very first time on Cruise Control is Miss Lexi Colville. Lexi, welcome to the program. How are you doing today?
Hi. Good. I'm doing good. I'm happy to be here.
Thank you so much for joining Sabrina and myself tonight. It means a lot. Happy to see you here on Cruise Control for the very first time.
It's a pleasure. I'm really happy to work with you again.
Yeah, I did Lexi's podcast before, Three Deemers. It's been a little bit, but we talked about a lot of horror movies. It was a lot of fun. Sabrina watched some of them too as I was going through. We were talking about that before on the show. The Beware of the Blob theme song, it always comes up now in the household. So if you haven't heard it, just say, Alexa, play Beware of the Blob theme song. Just do it right now. Or maybe she'll start playing it because I said that right now.
She almost did. She was blue for a second. I was like, don't do it.
I was worried about that. Mine's like right next to me, and I'm just like, oh, don't do that.
Oh, no, don't do it. I know Jimmy Kimmel would have fun doing that all the time and make people's Alexas start playing stuff. So I'm trying to do that, but if it happened, everybody, you'll enjoy the song. So, Alexi, tell us about yourself a little bit. Tell us what you've been doing, what you're up to, and what kind of projects you're working on right now.
I am a co-host on Cinema d'Amore. It's a podcast about film. This one is unlike my old podcast that you were on. The old podcast that you were on was the Three Deemers, if anybody's interested in checking that out.
Check it out.
That was a podcast specifically about film remakes, because I was like, just wouldn't stop thinking about film remakes. So I was like, I think this is a good topic to have a whole show about, but it could be very draining. It could be very hard on you to like have to watch, as you went through a month of it yourself, 3 of the same movie or 5 of the same movie or what have you. You watch a lot more films. So going over to Cinema d'Amore, we focus more on just all of film. And we spent the whole year this year discussing directors. And we finished our director month with first-time directors. So people who only directed one movie one time in their entire careers. So that's a really interesting month. And now that I'm a more permanent part of that show, we're going into what they're considering their season 2, the next evolution of the show. And so we are starting a new month with just movies that we wanted to talk about. So we all picked our own movie, and we got to cover The Whale. That was one of our movies that we covered. And
everyone's talking about that these days.
Hard movie to sit through initially, but if you listen to the episode and the discussion that we had, it was a really deep episode, and there was a lot of personal stuff that came out in it. And I think that movie's really good at like triggering those personal thoughts and feelings more so than a lot of like popcorn movies and that kind of stuff. So there's a lot of fun with that. And we finished with Bullet Ballet, which is a crazy Japanese film. So, and then next month we're going into talking about YouTube. So we're going to spend a whole month talking about films made by YouTubers. And that's my fault. I'm forcing this upon them because I think there's a bigger discussion there. I think it's a topic that people don't think about a lot, especially film people, and where we're older people who talk about film, because I think the youngest is like 35, something like that. So we're all from a different generation. And by being from that different generation, we don't always have...
It's a good generation.
Oh, fantastic. But we don't always have a grasp on like what the new mediums are and how the new mediums are working and stuff. So I think it's an opportunity to look into that and see kind of the future of entertainment as a whole in film, and if YouTubers are the future of filmmaking at all. So, and then I also make bad art.
Look at us right now. You make bad art too? Oh, come on. It's got to be. I've seen some of your art. It's pretty great.
Well, it's lowbrow art, so it's an interesting style. That's something I've just been experimenting with, and so I try to write. I try to come up with ideas. I have a background in film, television, that kind of stuff. So
you did a lot of special effects stuff too, right?
I went to school for special effects, special makeup effects specifically. I don't do any like VFX or anything like that, so it's all practical. I do a mean zombie. My specialty, no joke, is damage. I'm really good at like bruises, burns. I could do contusions really well. Any kind of like broken bone damage, that kind of stuff is really more my specialty. I'm not so good with the beauty makeup, even though I'm trying to get back into it. I can do it on other people, but I suck at doing it on myself. I had that reversal, instead of starting out doing my own makeup, I started out doing other people's, and then it's like, try to do your own, and I'm like,
It's easier though, isn't it? I know Sabrina does makeup on me once in a while too. We're doing like bruises and stuff for like short films or projects, and she'll test it on me. And it's better to have someone to kind of do it on, because then you can actually see how it fits someone's skin, and you can kind of work with them hands-on. It's a whole different experience than working with yourself. So It's great you do it that way. That's amazing.
It's a lot of fun, yeah.
And I'm happy that you're still doing more podcasts. Three Deemers was a lot of fun. If anybody's had a chance to go back and watch that, it's just fun conversations about old cinema that a lot of people don't even know that there were so many remakes. And Cinema d'Amore sounds like amazing. I'm gonna have to get back on there and listen to some more stuff, because it's great that you're working with this and you're kind of showcasing. Now, is it only just newer stuff, or is it older movies too that you're going back and looking at? It's everything, right?
Well, like I said, we spent the whole month covering directors. So, like, one month we did Spike Lee. We also did Wes Anderson, and then Neil Blomkamp, and not Cronenberg, Soderbergh. We did. Oh, nice. So we spent like a lot of like. I picked my Harmony Korine, so that was a really interesting month because he's an unconventional director, that kind of thing. So we really were all over the place with our choices, but it was a nice mix. It was a nice, diverse mix, and it gave us a lot of opportunity to pick films from those directors and talk about it. And I don't mean to be, I wouldn't say I'm negative, but I have a hard time with a lot of modern film and a lot of that kind of stuff like that. And sometimes it's nice to go back and have those moments where you can look at an old director's work and have that appreciation. And I feel like being on Cinema d'Amore has really given me an opportunity to get back to that place in film, because like I said, as much as I love Three Deemers, that much of just bad film, like, it puts a bad taste in your mouth too. And I was laughing, I said me and Jacob were down here wallowing in the trenches, like picking up piles of like turds and going, look at this, let's do this one. And they were up on the hill eating fine dining, and I'm like, I want to go hang out with them for a while. So,
that sounds like a great place.
Right.
And Jacob actually just commented, he said your makeup looks great tonight.
Thanks.
Jacob Rowland, everybody in the comments. Jacob, good to see you here tonight. Thanks for joining us on Cruise Control. That's amazing that you're doing all this and going through different genres and different directors. It's a lot of fun. And honestly, everybody out there has to check this out, because Lexi is an amazing host. She's fantastic. Like, you'll take on a lot of journeys with her that you'll be like, this is amazing. I'm so happy I listened. This is great. This is fantastic. So do it now, everybody. Check it out. You have to. You're gonna love it. Trust me, you're gonna love it. Sabrina, can you take over and ask Lexi for one quick question? I have one problem I have to deal with right now.
Yeah, no problem. So Lexi, is it every month you have a different theme?
Every month we have a different theme, yeah. And then 3 episodes a month. We were doing 4. If we cover a larger franchise, like let's say we did Fast and the Furious or something like that, then it would go
Extend
until
it.
it's done, that kind of thing,
Right.
or what have you. And we probably wouldn't break it up as much. And if you look at our this month for Halloween, where we covered Wes Craven, we did 4 Wes Craven films, and then also covered Halloween Ends, because previous to my being on the show, Halloween was their anniversary episode. And so they made sure to cover every single Halloween film. And when the new ones came out, they were very good at covering them the minute they dropped, kind of thing. So when Ends came,
awesome.
We had to cover that as soon as it dropped. We got it like pretty much 3 days after it came out, and had the episode out on Halloween specifically. So
very nice.
That pretty much
awesome.
ended that. So now we have to find a new tradition for like the anniversary episodes.